Alright, welcome back, and thank you for joining us for our first stream of AC Valhalla as part of our annual series run and the stealth challenges that we've been doing on the entire series and all of the games developed by Ubisoft Montreal. And yeah, I'm glad to say that now the community challenge is fulfilled. We can go ahead and finally start with this game. And yeah, I've actually been quite excited, to be honest. I've kind of been missing this game, even if it is by far the longest and the one with the most content. But I'm especially excited to do kind of like a stealth challenge because I haven't done it before with this game yet. And even though I'm preparing myself for some level of frustration, because I know how challenging the Valhalla stealth system can be, I'm quite looking forward to it, you know. I definitely think it's gonna be the game with the most detections total. So probably taking Unity with 50 or so. But yeah, I'm looking forward to get into this and see how the stealth system holds up here. And yeah, we kind of have like similar challenge rules going on as for the last games. So for instance, the stealth challenge of course still applies whenever we get detected during a mission. We have to do like a reload essentially of some kind. So the last autosave or menu save in this game. And yeah, we kind of like also have to count it of course towards the counter. As for the second part of a challenge where we do all of the missions, that's exempt for Valhalla because I will only play for the main story. So yeah, I won't be doing any kind of like side content unless I'm kind of like in the mood for it essentially. But it's gonna be like exclusively focused on the main story so we can get this game also done in like a moderate amount of time. And yeah, usually I would also showcase some trailers before we start the game, but I'm actually gonna do that next time, probably tomorrow. And focus today a bit more on the gameplay side of things because we only have about 2.5 to 3 hours or so for Valhalla today. Just want to get as much you know, gameplay in as possible. Also, hey Gislik, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, dude. How was your stream? Thank you for joining. What did you play today? Gameplay, more like cutscenes. Yeah, I think option-wise we are all good here. Let me just re-enable full screen to make sure that's properly running here. I'm not gonna play with guaranteed assassination, even though that would be good for the stealth challenge of course, but there's actually a system they use inside the game where you can hit like a timed window. And yeah, I would kind of like make that part of the challenge that I have to actually land the advanced assassination.
Odin is with us!
Eva Harbinger, welcome back. He sure is with us. Yeah, quite excited to be starting with this game finally. But yeah, I think we are good. You don't know, man, West CX is busy counting money while allied with Stratclad and you're blocked from going to Scotland right now. It runs a Britannia Total War game. I gotcha. That doesn't sound like the best situation to be in. Hopefully you can push through that blockade to Scotland. Also, hey there, Denvers, welcome in. Wasn't expecting a second stream, was away from laptop for 2 to 3 hours. Yes, we finished Ghost of Tsushima quite fast, in about, yeah, close to 3 hours, I guess. So I figured that gives us still enough time to at least play a little bit of a start of Valhalla. Not gonna be a super long stream, but yeah, I was definitely in the mood to make a start in this, since we also finished the community challenge in time for Ghost to end. So yeah, time for a new game. So gonna go for default difficulty for exploration. As for combat difficulty, I'm gonna go for default as well, because that might affect the level of enemies. And I want to make sure for the stealth actually that they don't level above of me, because that could mean that I can't assassinate some people that I could easily assassinate otherwise. And stealth difficulty, I will also go for default, I guess. Just like the standard experience. I don't want to make the stealth system too easy, I guess, but I might fine tune some settings later, depending on like the frustration level. I gotcha, Gizleg. Yeah, sounds like you have a lot to worry about. Now the freaking Vikings as well. Maybe Ava was one of the people raiding your villages. But yeah, let's go for regular Assassino difficulty.
Silence, you children of gods, and heed my tale of time's beginning. All was dark. There was no sand. There was no sea. No earth, nor sky. No grass, nor wind. Till fire met ice in the gasping void. And from this scream came the giant Ymir, first of all beings. Proud Ymir, cruelly killed, yet from whose bones and blood and brains the world was made. The world you walk and war upon.
There you are.
And there we are. Young Eivor. Ava Foxer, welcome in. Also Ava Demise, how's it going, my boy? Yeah, thank you all for joining here for the start of our Valhalla Stealth Challenge.
Eivor,
Here's a tune for you. Won't enliven your step.
Ah, there you are, my little dringer.
Go. So, you see our king? Yes, good. Come, Eva. Did you find the ring? for our little plan. When you see us talking, be quiet as a wood mouse, and surprise him with our gift. You hold it out, like this. You look him in the eyes and you say, Styrbjörn King, may our clans be forever bonded in friendship and in love. You think you can do that for me? Good. Tonight, you will be the cord that unite our people. I'm so proud of you, Mabel. Get up, Olaf. Stay lucid, friend.
My sword is grown greedy. I'm ready to fight.
So nice having all of these hearty folk in our home.
Gotta dance a little. And yeah, I'm doing well, Demise, thank you. Just finished Ghost of Tsushima not too long ago. So I had a bit of time left to start this game. But yeah, definitely glad we get to start this one. I kinda miss Valhalla actually, even though it's been like only 7 months since we last played it. But yeah, how are you doing, Demise?
I hewed the heads of joyless hill dogs. I imbibed Odin's brew, and I snipped the scraggly beards of troll kings. I danced naked upon the bleaching beaches.
Drink, Holger, and save your poems for your king.
He is your king as well.
He is, but I don't have to sing his praises for my meals.
Hello, little one. Ready to celebrate this great day?
I have a gift for the king. Then I will dance.
Good! Kings love those arm fitters. Raise your horn with me, Toby. Tonight we sleep in the heat of clan fire. Made happy by me.
Skål, your skald!
Very Gistek, enjoy lurk. Yeah, we're dancing everywhere. That's a new kind of dance. The floating Eivor. He's really feeling that music there. Or she, I should say. Indeed, you were looking earlier, but had to head out. Just got back. You good? Going to meet up with Grace tomorrow, you think? Oh, very nice. Yeah, she mentioned that she might be visiting you. That's awesome. I hope you guys have a great time together.
Oh, no drink in your fist? Come on, I'll find you
I
something.
can't. I have a tribute for your father.
Oh, what a piece. That must be worth 2 sturdy longships. Give it here, I'll pass it on.
My father asked me, Sigurd.
Suit yourself. But you're not getting any mead.
Like a satyr works through my hammer.
I am Oki. Starting right from the beginning here.
When you speak with the king, hold it up to the light. Show him the fine details. See there? I etched his name in runes on the outer band. You'll show him? Mm-hmm. You're just like your father, little berserker. Skull to you.
Go!
You see? She agrees.
yeah, the Valhalla stealth challenge is gonna kind of like, be similar to the other games in terms of I have to reload to the last autosave or menu save, I guess. However, I won't be doing all of the missions. That part is exempt for Valhalla. I'm just playing for the main story. Oh yeah, what a great character Gunnar is. It's kind of cool seeing him as a younger version here. Because he does change quite a bit, like visually speaking.
So, you have the ring? Good. This was worn by your grandfather in a battle on the Northern Way.
Mother,
Yes,
can we show Sigurd the can stones we stacked yesterday?
that's a good idea. We'll do that in the morning. At first light. Now go. You have a gift to deliver.
Yesterday.
Eivor, wait. Skål! To Sturgeon, the true king of RYGJAFYLKE! Tonight, we all made anew. Skål! Eivor.
King, may our clans be forever bonded in friendship and love.
Thank you, Eivor. Now and forever, I am pledged to you.
Hearken well in Hall of Kings. On ocean steed, my words gain wings. Odin's mead I forth will bring. For noble deeds thine honors sing. The brave men slain, Valhalla wakes. Rewards for strain to Valhalla takes. And horns resound the mighty hall. For those who fight! For those who fall! Under attack! Ready yourself, men! Do it, Rasta. Go. Not you, Eivor. Not just yet.
It is foretold. The curtains are raised. Nothing is true until it is severed from the branches of Yggdrasil.
endless bloodshed.
Oh, I will!
Speed to Valhalla.
Sigurd! Take the horse! All right, wait here.
Now it's my turn to offer you to the slayer. Accept your fate, die a coward here before your people, and I will spare the rest.
Fight, my love! Do not listen!
If I give my life, will you spare my clan?
You have my word.
No, Baron! No, Baron! Pick up your axe!
Kill them all!
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well.
Streams overlapped in the same DNA. Not sure why.
Fix this or pull me out.
I can parse the streams with a filter. Hold on. Okay, we're good. Are we? I don't know what happened, but I can work around it. You'll have to pick a stream to keep things stable. There's a third option, too. I can let the Animus modulate your identity based on signal strength. It's up to you.
Man, what an introduction, though. It's like crazy the amount of emotion you could like go through like the entire mission, you know, like from the feast and like meeting all of these people, you know, you're like super friendly with, to being attacked and being like part of this action, to like trying to escape after your parents have been killed, and then still dealing with all of that came afterwards, you know, like almost dying to either drowning or being attacked by the wolf and stuff. Literally seeing the doors to Valhalla, you know, like couldn't have been more of a near-death experience pretty much. But yeah, Eivor did survive. Which kind of bothers you with the same actors voicing male Eivor, Varyn and Odin. Yeah, and same for female as well, right? Like female Eivor is also voicing the mother of Eivor. I don't mind it too much personally, but I can definitely see why it would bother you. Also, hey there, if you are welcome in. Good morning. Hey there, the last of Con, welcome in too. The branch, yeah, kind of unfortunate, also kind of realistic. Hey there, Kin and Joe, welcome in. Thank you so much for that resub, I appreciate it. Definitely doing well, just about to start our playthrough here with the stealth challenge for Valhalla. Quite excited for this one. Thank you for clipping that demise. Yeah, have his branch. Your father shouldn't be going to Valhalla, he was a coward, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, like in the classic sense of Viking honor, I guess he would have been. But that's kind of what Valhalla's about, right? It's kind of like... That way, you might say it's even similar to Ghost of Tsushima, which we finished earlier. But it's kind of like about this pursuing of honor and tradition. And maybe that doesn't always lead to the best results, you know. But yeah, it's very much of a balance, I guess. But yeah, so I'm gonna actually go for the default animus choice here. Which means we will be either female or male depending on kind of like memory strength. Which means whenever we play Eivor, we are female, because Eivor, canonically speaking, has been a woman. Which is why she's also called Eivor Varinsdottir. Which translates to Eivor, daughter to Varin. And Odin, of course, is a male character in mythology, so he's actually played as the male version.
Alright, I'll lock it in and push ahead to a time where these streams are more synchronized.
How long have you been chasing me, Wolf-Kissed? 17 winters? 18? Do I now haunt your dreams? Do I warm your loins? You remember this? Ah, your father's axe. The weapon of a coward. A scorned snake. Ah, few things would please me more than to kill with this blade. But I know you would defy me to the death, fighting for a glorious end. That I will not allow. You will live your final days enthralled as a slave. Humiliated. Your death will be a lonely one. Kill the rest of our crew! Make them suffer! Eivor Wolf-Kissed is no more! That name is dead to this world!
You will be worth your weight in silver. To the ship.
You move, and I take your eyes, you hear me?
Odin is with us! Wind's blowing from the south.
We can tack north, then cut west. Now, what did I just tell you?
Kjotve will skin you alive! You will never leave this!
No feast for you, Sunan. My crew is in danger. You must be my eyes.
Does that mean Sinan actually feeds on the people that Eivor kills? I guess it does. You saw it on the paper you found. Yeah, it's pretty late in the game that you find it, I think, but that's, I guess, the definitive answer that Eivor is indeed a woman. I guess the name also would kind of like reveal that, because Eivor is a typically female name. Yeah, the music is so good to my eyes. One of the things I miss the most about Valhalla, you know. the awesome music of Sarah Schachner and Jesper Kid. And Haverod, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, dude, and welcome in raiders. How was the rest of your Prince of Persia stream? We're just getting started with some Valhalla here, since we finished Ghost of Tsushima earlier. And yeah, we're literally now at the very beginning of taking control of Eivor. Haver Brutus, welcome in. Also Haver Lucinda, good morning. How does looking around work in this game? Yeah, that's a question, isn't it? Yeah, still in the tutorial stages here.
Need to reach them. Better. I feel better. Stronger.
Also still have eagle vision here, which reveals stuff we can loot around, but also enemy position. Oh, very nice, Rod. That's awesome that you managed to finish the game in like an entire stream. So next Wednesday you start another playthrough with music only? Oh yeah. Yeah, the music I really enjoyed in that game actually. But that's really good progress actually getting the game done that quickly. Oh yeah.
Save that for later.
Right, so our rations are full. It's kind of like similar to how the medicine worked in the older games, right? You kind of like have to collect food and that will be transformed into like a medicine package of some sorts. And you can consume it to, you know, get a bit of a chunk of health back if you need it. And thanks for GG's, Rod. Yeah, we went through it pretty fast actually, but the last act was also the shortest, with only 6 missions total. But yeah, it was great to play through it again, because it really made me appreciate the game even more. Getting to kind of like experience the story from start to finish, pretty much like back to back, you know. Yeah, same here, Kid and Joe. I think Valhalla is actually a really good game that deserves more recognition. It's a bit soured, I think, by the amount of content that you have for Valhalla, I guess. And all the different studios that worked on it, because it made it a bit of a Frankenstein monster, you know. But I feel like the main game itself, you know, like the main story is really, really well done and designed. Maybe they could have skipped like a couple of story chapters, you know, but I think overall it's a really good story, and yeah, I've enjoyed it. Oh, that's good, Rod. There can always be a time sink for sure, you know, like trying to figure out a specific puzzle. It does help if you remember some of the solutions.
Show me what lies ahead.
The Strove. Yeah, definitely. You know, and it's been like almost 3 years since I last played Ghost of Tsushima. So it was kind of good to be reminded of how good the game actually is. So I definitely plan on doing another playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima next year. But instead of New Game Plus, going for a regular New Game run, and then probably combining it with like a challenge of some sorts. Might actually go for lethal difficulty, which essentially is that both enemies and you die much quicker. Which of course makes it much faster to kill enemies, but you will also die super quick if you're not careful. I'm honestly quite looking forward to play this with a stealth challenge. I mean, I expect to be detected a lot of times, because the stealth is definitely more punishing than it was on Origins and Odyssey. But whenever I played this game, I actually had a lot of fun doing the stealth with it, you know. Because there's quite a few mechanics you can use. Might be tricky combining it with, like, you know, not allowing yourself to be detected versus maybe allowing yourself to be detected for a couple of seconds, you know. But yeah, as long as you kill enemies while being detected for, it's still rightful. Like if I kill them in the moment that they detect me.
Marvelousness. Where that Oathbreaker is holding my crew.
Yeah, that's true, Rod, you know, they could have definitely done that. Like just make, for example, SX like optional, because it kind of feels like it is, really. It's not really, you know, tying into any kind of like major storyline. Except for the ending, of course. Camo death. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would do it with Ghost of Tsushima. Actually, enemy here. So I don't have a hidden blade yet, which means I can only use my bow.
I need to be careful.
To take them down stealthily. I definitely like glass cannon type of builds in games, you know. Ghost Runner was actually quite similar. Like Ghost Runner was kind of like taking it to the next level, where you and enemies all die in like one hit, no matter what. Which made it like very much trial and error most of the time, but also quite fun, I think. Especially if you kind of like get into a groove where you can, you know, blast through certain like sections without being hit once. What about allowing Basin to be detected and pulling the entire region? I mean, if my allies get detected, it won't affect me. Or if they're kind of like responsible for me getting detected, then yeah, that's nothing I can do anything about, I guess. They will have to do stuff themselves.
Clash of Iron. There is fighting nearby. Dag, you old hound. You live.
I do. Slipped away in the sword clash. And what of you?
Kjotve tried to sell me off. A mistake he'll regret.
Not today, he won't. I saw him board a ship at Avaldsnes not long ago. Sailed east, leaving our crew behind.
There must still be time to save our men. I will find them. You ready the longship.
You glory hound? You would take the rescue for yourself, so the victory song is written about you.
I could storm the beach then, slay 24 men, seize our dragon boat, and hoist the sail in triumph. Up to you.
No, I will take the beach. A far more dangerous path. You search the longhouse for our crew. Oh, and here. This corpse will not have need of it.
Go. I'll meet you by the ship.
Oh yeah, got the Raven Clan shield. It's even like details you have. The shield of Raven Clan, bared with pride. It goes for like every item that you have actually. The Raider Axe, used by Norse raiders to spread mayhem as quickly and lethally as possible. The Hunnish Bow, a classic bow used for hunting deer, quite useful in a battle as well. Right, so we are on our way to Avaldsnes, because that's where our crew is held and we must rescue them to be able to kind of like navigate the long ship, essentially. Take the cunt. Yeah, definitely quite the controversial person, I guess you could say. A pair of Raven Clan socks with pride. Yeah. That's all you start with. Oh, hold on. I kind of forgot to equip the shield there. That's better.
Avaldsnes, where that Oathbreaker is holding my crew. Kjotve's warriors crawl through Avaldsnes like lice. If I use the main gate, I may attract attention. Longhouse. My crew should be inside.
Love that soundtrack piece here.
There should be an opening in the roof.
Squirm like that, and my axe will miss your neck. Unpleasant for both of us.
If I'm to die, I want to make a mess of it, Backraut.
The Backraut. You were, what's wrong with his voice, but then it dawned you. That I'm playing female Eivor. How's it going, Elan? Welcome in.
You coward! Unbind me and stick an axe in my hand!
I owe you nothing, raven shit. Yours is a clan of thralls and peasants.
You! Lay that axe aside or die by mine!
You should be on a slave ship to Ireland, Wolfkist. But if you wish to be my first sacrifice, Odin will be more than happy to receive you.
You just killed yourself, Erki.
Come, bloodbag! I will sell you to hell herself! Kneel, Wolfkist, and I will spare your life.
Shut your hole and fight!
Die, you sack of shit!
father. You should have held on to this until the bitter end.
If I give my life, will you spare my clan?
Venin, no! Pick up your axe!
Kill them all!
No!
Are you bewitched? Unbind us!
What? Oh. Yes, of course.
I love it. That Eivor's like actually, you know, daydreaming in a way, and extra time is passing, and, you know, he's like, come on, untie me please, already. Elaine, glad your house is still standing. The storm was brutal this morning. Oh yeah? It kinda has arrived, also arrived here. It's not too bad yet, but it's supposed to be quite bad in the evening. But you have a voice thing bothers you because you can hear Odin's voice throughout the game if you play as Mayor Eivor, whereas Team Eivor has a unique voice. Yeah, that's fair, I guess. There's definitely much more of a distinction. Yeah, that moment, Rod. I always get the chills watching that intro sequence, you know. Hey there, Bailey. Welcome in. How's it going? Even the base game is running commercials for Dawn of Ragnarok DLC since before it's been announced. Yeah. It's still such a scummy move, I think, you know. Just like completely randomly getting that advertisement like mid-game. That stuff should be legal.
Well fought, Wolf-Kissed. Even if your wits were somewhat rattled.
Listen here. If you can breathe, you can fight. Now come. We take back our ship.
You do not need to tell us twice.
Well then, time to fight. This is like a forced combat scenario here. Who else? Are you? I think that's all of them. Ah, okay, yes, like I was actually thinking you were talking about the actual ad that you have for Dawn of Ragnarok that's, you know, happens mid-game. Not sure if it happened to you yet when you played Valhalla so far. But it does happen at some point that you get like an ad just randomly for Dawn of Ragnarok mid-game. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it really is bullshit, Rod, and it also made it easier for me not to get it either. Is that Aloy from Horizon? Does kind of look like her, doesn't it? I mean, with the hair at least and everything. A very similar hairstyle for sure. Yeah, exactly, Bailey. So when they brought out Dawn of Ragnarok, they kind of like decided that at some point when playing the main story, you just without any announcement or even knowing what it is about, you just get like a silent ad about Dawn of Ragnarok completely randomly happening. And you just like left wondering what was that about. So even as an ad, it doesn't even work.
Stop anything!
For the kill! Nothing take you!
Hey! Jack, Bragi, grab your oars. The whale road leads us home.
Gods, it's about time.
Stop yapping and start rowing.
Rather silent,
Run up
Eivor.
the sail!
Anything to say for the mess you led us to?
We suffered no losses in this fight, and the men who humiliated us are dead. What is there to say?
Oh, something like, I was stupid, selfish, reckless, blind, bone-headed, and I smell like blood and shit?
I like my version better.
Of course you do, Eivor. But to be fair, I do too.
Eivor, look! Someone is setting up an outpost on that island.
Kjotve's men, gnawing at any piece of open land like dogs worrying a bone.
Even with you half in the grave, we could easily take them.
You're not gonna do this yet because it would be quite tricky to do this one stealthily at this point. Yeah, you get it, listener? It's like people the entire game trying to listen to Deck.
Harder and stronger than before.
No surprise there. This war has spun on for 3 generations. I hardly expect him to relent.
Your hatred for that man burns bright, wolf-kissed. I could warm my balls on it.
Would you not prefer a pair of sealskin breeches?
Just take care, Eivor. Such hatred can make you careless. What he did to your father, he did to all of us. You are not in this fight alone.
I mean, that's kind of nice of Deck to say, actually.
King Styrbjorn will scold you for setting out against his wishes.
Of course he will.
Is that not something you worry over?
I worry only that our king will not see that I am right until it's too late.
What about Sigurd? What would he say?
If Sigurd were here, he would be sitting beside you, wiping the blood from his axe and smiling into the breeze.
Oh yeah, I'm in the best it is. It's called Fuck Deck.
Only the truth. We attacked Kjotve's fortress, killed his men, and weakened his control of this land.
Will you mention the part where you lost your crew and were nearly sold as a thrall? Will that be part of your saga?
If there's a skull who dares sing that verse, it'll be his last song.
That's amazing, Lucinda. Just from like watching the little bit you have, it's like already clear that he is a shithead.
Dock the ship here!
Fonburg.
Well, well, the feeder of ravens returns, and not half dead. We thought we had lost you, Eivor. For good this time. A warm welcome as always, Randvi. You look like reddened shit. What happened? Nothing to crow about, except to say the men who delayed us are dead. And how are you?
Well enough, though I have spent many tiresome days calming the rages of our king. He is not happy with you.
I expected as much. And what of Sigurd? Has he returned from his raids?
My husband should be home today. The last we heard, he was approaching Stavanger.
Good to hear. We have need of his courage.
Sigurd will not save you from his father's wrath, Eivor. You should know that by now.
Did your raid not go as planned?
They rarely go as planned. But we killed many of Kjotve's warriors. And there was this. My father's axe among the dead.
Ah. After so many years. You should take it to Gunnar. He will give it back its edge.
A good idea. After I see our king.
That I do not advise. Not yet. He is meeting with a messenger from the north.
I can wait.
A cloud hangs over you. Is something wrong?
Seeing my father's axe after 17 winters. It stirred something in me. A feeling I have not had since the day he was killed. Since the day I got this.
Memories of past agonies. Of sadness and pain.
I should speak with Valka. She could help me make sense of my feelings.
Take your time getting settled. I will see you at the Longhouse.
I think you have lost your edge, Eivor. Just like that axe. Maybe Gunnar can help you with both.
I will let you know.
Multiple quests accepted. You love to see it. Need the mod in which Dag tragically dies during the voyage to England and you never have to listen to Dag the Nag ever again. That would be quite the useful mod, that's for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and speak to Gunnar.
Welcome home.
Eivor, did you...
Did I bring treasure? Yeah, I did. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and equip the Raven clan set here. Looking much better now. And we can also go double X actually. But But for now I'm gonna keep the Raven Clan shield. Gotta represent. Watch this take like 2 minutes just to unlock the special abilities. I wonder if I can like cancel this and go back into it. Ah yeah, that actually works. That's good. Because usually you have to like wait 1 or 2 minutes or something for like every additional skill point to be unlocked. That are like part of a post-launch and not part of the main game, I guess. Apparently you can just like back out and back in, and it will kind of like skip that animation. That's good. Yeah, who didn't miss Deck right? Best character. So obviously, since we're doing like a stealth challenge, I'm gonna focus on both the Raven and the Wolf side a lot. There's one ability that's quite good for stealth, which is Stealth Reckon, where enemies are automatically highlighted when crouched and undetected. So we don't have to spam, you know, Odin's side or something to see enemies. And Advanced Assassination, of course, is something we also have to get quite early, just to make sure we can assassinate like anybody we come across. But yeah, I think for now I'm going for the Stealth Reckon ability over here. It's increasing rage damage and health. Yes, Deep Bonnet. He's like a true master of the shadows. As he showcased in Havana.
Hello, Eivor.
I feel so welcomed.
Well, look who it is.
Practicing your wordplay, Alvis.
Ah, Eivor! The only mouth in Midgard from which I fear mockery.
You taught me the art of writing poetry, old friend. It is only natural that I surpass you soon.
How about another lesson then? A quick flight. Right here, right now. What do you say?
Let's try flighting.
I always put a few coins down as a wager. Most of those who enjoy flighting have an equal fondness for betting. But today, we'll abstain. Let me begin.
I'm ready.
In flighting, it's key to match cadence and rhyme. It's as much about sound as it is about time. So be careful in choosing the words that you say.
With your teachings, I'm sure my next challenger I will slay.
No. The rhyme is good, but too many words upsets the rhythm. Now, let us examine meaning. In flighting, you'll need to be cutting and keen. It's about wielding wit more than venting your spleen. If I tell you you're foolish and stupid and dull...
Then I'd tell you you've nothing inside of your skull.
Ah, a good response. I called you stupid and you turned it around. Flighting about wit, you matched my meaning. When you think of too many perfect retorts,
take my sugar! Take anything you like!
Meaning. Last one. So go then and conquer the world with your wit. Go be clever, be quick, show your spirit and grit. I look eagerly forward to seeing how you fare.
I will flight you with flourish and best you with flair.
Perfect, yes! You could destroy me with such a line. Your flighting's astounding, you're worthy of praise. You swing a fine axe and you turn a good phrase.
Thank you, Alvis. I'll take the lesson to heart.
Amazing. Increase our charisma, so that's actually quite worth it. But we've done this. Okay, I want to talk to the people that are at least important to Raven's Fall later. Shut up, Alvis, I don't have all day. Yeah, no kidding. plugin do I use for sound redeems? So I'm using the streamer bot software. You can essentially like choose a folder and make it play sound from that folder or like a specific file, and then connect it to like the channel point redemption. So it runs like locally instead of like over a website.
Is the king free to speak with me?
Reward.
He is still with
So
the
they
emissary
say.
from the north.
Why
I
not
would
try
wait a
it,
while
huh?
longer. Understood. I'll come back.
Giving is the greatest reward.
Win all day. I must turn this around.
I mean, sure, let's play a game of Orlok. I kinda like Orlok.
Orlok. There's a player in every port and city.
Yes, Orlok. Join me.
Let's do this then.
Straight and to the point. May the best hand win.
Alright, we start. Oh yeah, I love the soundtrack actually for the Orlok music. This one is a track actually by Jesper Kidd, who also worked on the very early AC games as well, up until Revelations. Okay, we're gonna take the shield here to block, and one arrow to hit. We're gonna take the helmet because currently it doesn't have any access.
This will do.
I hate when enemies get like so many steals at the beginning of a game. At least I get some damage in. But it is very much also a luck-based game as well, of course. There's always like a chance of getting the worst kind of roads.
Look at that!
Okay, we're gonna block one of those. And then we gotta get some shields in here. It's going full offense here. We can block at least all of the X's so far. Could be worse. Never mind, he got rid of mine. What? Are you kidding me? I actually had like a token on that shield and it was already landing and Ava still picked it up to reroll. The game is officially rigged. Okay, so we get 2 extra tokens here, giving us 7 total. I need 8 for 5 and 12 for 8 damage here. So I'm gonna wait one more round and then we will use our God Favor.
Interesting.
I kinda appreciate also getting like a steel token at some point. Could go for free access here to make sure that he has only... or getting closer to 5 health, I guess. Because I only need one more token to get 5 damage in. Oh, hell yeah. That's perfect. That should be GG, actually. I hope. Or is it? Fuck, he's actually stealing 1 token from me, of course. No. Can't do it, can I? Yeah, I was like missing 1. Just gonna make sure I survive here. And then we can deal 5 damage.
This will do.
Oh boy. He's 2 damage off winning here. Of course, I can actually get rid of my my helmets. Honestly, I mean, I can't kill him with these X's either. So I don't think it really does matter here what I choose. Okay, thank God he didn't get more X's there. But he can still get super lucky. Okay, he's actually stealing 2 from me, but I still get 8, or over 8. So this should be it.
This is my game, stranger. Just give up. Well fought.
The gods favored your hand today. Shall we go again?
That is enough Orlok for now.
Nice. That unlocks another God favor for us here. If it's like a drinking game here.
Who will go around with me?
Gonna go for it.
Who would like to hear a story? Who would enjoy a tale of the gods? There has always been war, even among the gods. When Midgarda was young, Asgarda was torn by strife. The battle-born Aesir, hating the Vanya's magic, betrayed custom and made murder in Odin's great hall. Gulveig of the Vanir was killed and burned, not once, but 3 times, and reborn as Freya, mother of the Volur. The war that came after echoes through the 9 worlds still. Midgarda would drown in the blood spilled, and their dead would hide the sun. Those bravely fallen, now buried, wait for Heimdall to blow the Gjallarhorn and summon them to battle one last time. Losses on both sides left each open to attacks from Jotnar and other monsters. So Odin, in his wisdom, proposed a truce and marriage to the war witch Freya. Oaths were made, horns were raised, and from the gods' mingled spit was born, fully formed Kvasmir, wiser than Odin himself. This was the same Kvasmir whose stolen blood became the meat of poetry. But that is another story.
A good story, Holger. But I hear the voice of Styrbjörn in it.
A wise skald takes his words from the gods, and his orders from the king.
I can definitely tell why why Eivor has kind of like been seeing Odin's memories through the lens of mythology. You know, considering how present all of these stories are to her.
Hey, can you point me to some good hunting grounds?
I could, but I don't want every Ironfoot with a bow scaring away the game. Bring me 3 deer antlers to prove your skills, and I might just have a story for you.
A worthy challenge. I'll see you soon.
Maut hunt. That reference. Okay, who's over here? Ah, Sven.
Sven, have you designed any new tattoos?
A few worth looking at?
Let me have a look.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we can totally change the appearance of Eivor here. With different hairstyles and also tattoos. We don't have a beard, of course, because I'm playing male Eivor. But yeah, we can change the hairstyle and stuff. You can even go for like a shaved look if you want to. Or change the color. I'm gonna keep a classic hairstyle for now. But I'm gonna get some tattoos for her, actually. Let's go for the hell sign here, for the back. Gonna go for Jörmungandr for the front. And on this side we go for the Jörmungandr. And on the left arm we go for the hell sign. We can even change the head tattoo as well if we want to. As Raven Guard, which kind of gets us darker tones around the eye area. We also have Jörmungandr on this side. And the house sign, which is more like affecting the area under the lips. I'm gonna keep a regular Raven head for now.
Good. Need anything else?
See you later, Sven.
Sure.
Would be cool for a Senua makeup mod. That's very true. Would be nice to have.
Eivor, come to keep your blade sharp?
Wolf-kissed. Welcome back.
Gunnar, I have something here you might like to see.
Thunderclap of Thor! Is that your father's axe? I have not seen this beauty since, well, for some time. I forged this weapon long ago. Still looks good. One of my finest, I think.
It has a blunted blade, but it swings well. Can you sharpen it?
I can give it a better edge and reinforce the handle. And as luck would have it, I have one ingot left for the job.
Are you sure?
I make my own
The
luck.
fates have willed it so. But in future, bring your own metal ingots. I cannot forge them from empty air.
Nothing more to say, Stanley. Sure. Alright, we can upgrade Varen's X. Oh yeah. Which also changes the appearance, gives us a rune slot, and 2 more upgrade levels. And there's Newton Redder too. Okay. It's such a funny character. That he just answers everything with, okay.
That should do it. Anything else?
And how are you, Gunnar? Holding up?
Yeah, work is good and my spirits are strong, but my nights are newly cold. My lady left me, if you have not heard.
I had. Sorry to hear it. You were together how long?
5 weeks it was. 5 beautiful, passionate weeks. But all that is done. Will I never find my Brunhilde?
Valkyries do not walk the world as they once did, Gunnar. Maybe set your sights a bit lower.
Lower? My friend, look at my wares, my weapons. I'm not a man to settle for less than the finest of anything.
Ah, it's so funny. You know, you kind of think, okay, maybe his wife has died, or he, you know, broken up in a relationship that lasted multiple years, and then it's like 5 weeks. 5 beautiful, passionate weeks. Ah, so funny. Lower your standards? Yeah, no kidding. Well, that's the common theme with Gunnar, you know, he's a very love-seeking person.
That is all for now.
Return any time.
Oh, nice, we even got a weapon rune. And I can't actually upgrade my Burns X yet because I don't have any resources, but we're gonna get that eventually. Okay, so I think I'm actually gonna read up on the character entries, but I'm not gonna read up on anything else in the database this time. But it's kind of nice having at least a background information for the different, you know, characters here. Renvi. Renvi's love for her husband Sigurd takes the same form as most of the Raven clan know: admiration from a distance. Given the number of times Sigurd has spent traveling during their arranged marriage, the two are still strangers in many ways. But Renvi is at her core a pragmatic woman who knows from her people's harsh history that there are far worse fates than a utilitarian marriage. Dag. As the toughest and strongest of young Prince Sigurd's playmates, Dag was certain of his destiny. When the prince became king, he would be Sigurd's right hand. Then Eivor's village was razed and everything changed. When King Styrbjörn adopted Eivor, Dag knew things would never be the same with his oldest and best friend, but the fates can turn anyone's luck. And that's kind of like the reason he's being such an arsehole to Eivor, even though that doesn't excuse it, I guess. But he was essentially the best friend to Sigurd, you know, until Eivor got adopted, and he never could cope with somebody else taking his place, I guess. Already thought kind of like belonged to him. But yeah, it's no justification. Eivor Prom, welcome in. Kjotve the Cruel. Long is the list of warriors lost to the bloody clan wars that ravaged RYGJAFYLKE, but few will be remembered with the same fear and loathing as Kjotve the Cruel. Kjotve's rise to prominence from a relatively insignificant clan was fast and brutal. Some have said he was helped by secret, distant allies, but those voices were quickly silenced. He privately wonders whether his son Gorm will prove too weak to take RYGJAFYLKE himself, and so is determined to beat the land into submission before his final day. Odin. The Hanged God, Shield Shaker, Greybeard, and Wanderer are just a few of the many, many names of Odin, the All-Father. Having effectively created the 9 realms out of the carcass of a dead giant, Odin feels he should be exempt from any binding fate, particularly one that ends in the jaws of a monstrous wolf. His thirst for power through knowledge is unquenchable. He sacrificed an eye for insight and hung himself on the tree Yggdrasil, the father of all near-death experiences. When not acting in his role as chief among the Norse gods, he wanders the mortal realm Midgard, often in the form of a bearded old man, wearing a long cloak, a white hat, and carrying a staff. Classic Odin. Yeah, the similarities to Eivor's story here already, you know, like being in the jaws of a wolf that feels monstrous to young Eivor. And also having that flashback to the, you know, Tree of Life, Yggdrasil.
They must be finished now.
If you have any other business, it may be wise to do it now. Let him cool down.
I could speak to Volker first. Get this weight off my mind.
The king is not going anywhere.
Game? I think the game crashed. Never mind, it didn't. Okay, so that finishes the first part of this mission. Now it's time though to go and see the seer, because she has something to tell us. Beset by vivid visions, Eivor seeks out the local seer for counsel. Oh, yeah, I think we just unlocked everything from the store now. Like now that the open world is kind of like actually open to us. Which means I got a free 3000 leather, 2800 iron, 70 titanium, so we can already upgrade quite a lot actually. And we also now have access to all of the gear that I've unlocked as part of like the Discovery Tour or Radar and all that. Or like as part of the Twitch Prime, for instance, which is where I have the Carolingian set from. But for now, I think I'm gonna keep just the Raven Clan set and focus on cannon gear, I guess. But once we reach Ravensthorpe, I'm gonna be able to use anything that I've unlocked. But yeah, most important is of course range damage for now, because that's the only stealth tool we have currently. Also gonna upgrade the amount of arrows I can carry. Let's also get one ration. And then I want to upgrade my damage, because that's most important here. Also increase our shield a little bit. And I mean, we can kind of like max out everything else we have here. Okay then. It's crazy how the screens are still appearing with stuff that I'm unlocking here. It's probably one of my favorite quests in like the early game of Valhalla. It's actually super insightful in terms of like what you find out in the later stages of the game.
Hamuram. Hamuram.
Valka?
Hush. I need silence to hear the songs of nature. Hamuram. Hamuram.
Svala. She gives praises and she is greeted.
For your hearing I hearken, O ancient ones, great Odin, great Freya. I give you thanks for your gift of Seidr.
She gives thanks and she is blessed.
Eivor, it has been some time. What brings you so far to see me?
I have come for your advice on a private matter.
Come.
Is your mother well?
Her mind is a jumble. She speaks to spirits. I fear her final winter has come, but she has me. Now, let her speak to your needs.
I have had a vision. A powerful vision. It may have been my battle lust, or a delirium caused by the cold, but...
Describe it for me.
After 17 years, I saw my father's axe again. And when I touched it, the vision came on fast. There was a wolf, howling and fierce. And then a figure. A graybeard in a cloak. With a single eye. He bid me follow him.
Ah, the High One. He calls to you. Perhaps he means to speak with you, deliver a message. Only through Seidr will you see more clearly and unravel the threads that sit tangled upon your mind. This will not take long.
Have you used this sort of magic before?
Have no fear. It was not my Seidr that made her like this. Her condition inspired the elixir.
Did it help her?
For a time, it opened her up to visions. Strange, unreadable things. Then she returned to her current state. Drink. If you seek true understanding.
Yeah, drink the purple potion for true understanding.
I saw nothing, Valka. Felt nothing. Havi! Havi. Havi! Do I walk among the dead? Sigurd. Sigurd! Brother! When did you arrive? What is this?
Weaving the fates of humanity here. And that's of course also the belief that Eivor has, you know, is that the fate for her is already spun. And Eivor thinks that she's gonna die gloriously, which means she also doesn't have any fear of dying in like non-better situations, for instance, you know. But yeah, she really does think her life is like predetermined. And these guys here are the reason why.
There was no other way, Javi. Our fates are fixed.
Sigurd! Sigurd! What is it? What has happened?
This was not for you, Javi.
Steady, Eivor. It is Valka. I am here.
God, I thought What was that?
Tell me everything.
I was on a mountain, in a violent blizzard, climbing toward the summit, following a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Eline. It doesn't stop popping up. But yeah, that's all of the stuff I unlocked through Redder and stuff through my multiple playthroughs over the past couple of like 2.5 years. So yeah, there's been quite a bit of stuff that I assembled in that time. Yeah, Rod, it's so good, you know, also with that music and everything, but also knowing, you know, what's kind of like end up happening as part of the story, I guess. Spoilers. Why did he cut his arm? Well, as Hubbard just says, the wolf wanted a bit of a snack.
I saw the gates to Odin's Hall of Slain Champions. They opened for me.
Shades of Valhalla, for which you are destined.
I saw Odin and the Nornir spinning the threads of fate. They were watching me.
Not watching. They were showing you the way forward. Your life, your path, what lies before you, and where it ends.
And the wolf was eager for my attention, as if it were beckoning me to follow.
You are the wolf-kissed, fated to carry its mark for life. In this case, it might represent your ambition, or your fear.
I do not know what else to say. My memories are faint, hazy.
Did you reach the summit of this mountain?
I did, yes. Sigurd was there, wounded, in pain. His fighting arm was missing. Then the wolf reappeared, the size of a dragon, twisted and terrible. It fixed its eyes on me and struck. Then I woke.
The gods favor you, Eivor. They always have. You will have your glory, and you will earn your place in Valhalla. But these portents carry a darker truth. The missing arm, the trail of blood, the beast. You will betray your brother, Sigurd. That is the meaning of your vision.
That cannot be right. I would never betray Sigurd. He's my brother, my family.
The Nornir have spoken, and this is their message.
No, this is wrong, or you misunderstand. That cannot be right.
You will betray Sigurd.
Odin fought against his fate. It can be done.
Yeah, Eivor ain't happy with that. Understandably so. But Sanderson playing the game set in the past and thinking about the things it didn't have at the time makes you wish that it was possible to visit those eras Not live there, just visit. Yeah, same here. I'm definitely quite happy to be living in this time, you know, with all the comforts and security that we got nowadays, you know. But it would still be very interesting to be able to try and travel, you know, and see some times for yourself, I guess. Hey there, Gridotech. Got a question, what can you put your luminance settings and exposure settings for better quality on PS5? I wouldn't really know about PS5 to be honest, because I don't have one myself. Yeah, I guess trying to kind of like keep it pretty much balanced. I mean, usually there's like a calibration setting in games where you kind of like try to make the darkest things still be barely seeable. Where you have like a good kind of like contrast most of the time.
So Ivan is asleep on his watch. That would explain some things.
Comfort straps, security, thick quartz, cameras, guards. Well, it's definitely another way to look at it, I guess. So we could get this viewpoint, but I don't really need to, I guess. For now we're just heading back to continue the Family Matters storyline. What are my settings set to? So my settings are set to just default, really. Brightness 5, contrast 5. But I'm also playing with limited color range for streaming reasons. Because full color range usually doesn't work too well on OBS and streaming in general. Yeah, no worries. I hope you figure out a setting that works well for you. Right, I think it's finally time to talk to Styrbjörn.
They must be finished now. The king has called for his best mead, so the talks are concluded. It should be safe to enter. I'm ready to face the thunder. I'll speak with the king now.
Excellent, King Styrbjorn. I will take this proposal to my nephew. I believe he will see the wisdom in it.
Good. It is all I can hope for. May the winds favor your voyage, Guthormr. Eivor, come forward and explain in plain words why you have willfully disobeyed my commands. Do you mock me?
I do not mock you, King. I mean to embolden you against your enemies and your own poor judgment.
You know nothing of my judgment. You know nothing of my plans and strategies.
Sigurd would agree with me.
My son might agree with you, but he would obey me. He knows his place.
Not as well as he knows his father.
Which part of remove testicles before hanging by the neck until dead appeals to your feeble brain, you idiot?
What profit does open war bring? Would it not be better to work quietly through diplomacy, gaining alliances? Waiting until the day our numbers outweigh our enemies and our victory is guaranteed.
I liked how it like completely took over the whole audio. So it seemed like Styrbjorn was actually saying that for real.
You stir so much shit, I'm surprised your hands ain't stained brown.
Do we have any allies to speak of? Or is that your excuse to do nothing?
Your confidence blinds you to so much in plain sight, Eivor. Day and night I toil to forge ties with clans to the north. Very soon you will see the fruits of my efforts. Only then will you understand.
Is that all?
I'm at a loss with you, Eivor. When I took you in as my own, never did I imagine such disrespect from the child of Varin. Your father was a fine man, just and loyal to me. He died bravely so that we might live.
He died a coward, Lord. A fate I will not mirror.
Why do you carry such a useless burden? Let it go! Think only of the days to come, of your future and the victories at hand.
My honor has been stained. Until it's wiped clean, I want nothing else.
I refuse to pick at that wound again. But if there is something that can chase these shadows from your thoughts...
Sigurd has come! Down at the docks, his ship is here!
I swear Twitch has like the weirdest issues today. It's like my fourth disconnect for a couple of seconds today, I think. I hope everything works well again. You might have to actually reload the stream though to get rid of any potential delay happening. Yeah, let's head to the docks and welcome Sigurd.
Manni hvar ei brottskjót skal endurgjalda Eirík til Hjálms. Hann vil hafa tvíjald fyrir sakir vitlaust bróður minn svo kjör.
Hey, careful with that one. Eivor!
Sigurd!
Ah, look at you, blood-soaked drinker. What, have you been worrying without me?
Ah, and you, Solkjord Vikinger. I smell the stink of 12 kingdoms in your beard.
It's just the start. Randvi, my dear wife, your husband returns. Bringing gifts and riches to share.
And new friends, I see.
Yes. Basim and Hytham. We met in Miklagard, and they showed me her buried secrets.
We are grateful to Sigurd for his invitation, and eager to pay tribute to your king.
My brother is always very careful with the company he keeps, if you're standing safely beside him. He must like you.
Ah, Eivor. Save the introductions until our bellies are full. I will see my father. Tell him of my time away. This morning we traded with a ship passing south. They told us Eivor the Wolf-Kissed was captured by Kjotve's men.
They must have cut the tail short. I killed my captors and recovered my crew. For that your father scolded me. You know where I stand, brother. Nothing short of war will dislodge Kjotve from our lands. But he disagrees.
I know. Father thinks too much and acts too little. Today that changes. I promise you. By the winter's end, the name Kjotve the Cruel will be a curse on the lips of a drunken fool.
This cutscene's so funny with the whole neighborhood. I can imagine, like, sometimes it can be a bit awkward with any kind of headgear on. Cassandra? Yeah. The amount of times people have been kind of like thinking, is that Cassandra surviving and she just like changed her hair color? But yeah, it's not. Honey breaths and farts, lovely. But yeah, that's pretty much the smell of Sigurd in a nutshell. The beginning of the end, indeed. Yeah, such a great actor, Rod. I was kinda hoping he would make like a return for Mirage. But who knows, maybe he voices Loki or something. That would be cool actually, if he did. Curse on the lips of a drunken fool, off that line. Yeah. Valhalla in general I think has such a good writing and so many great lines. It's a very quotable game for sure. Just like Eivor's related to Edward Kenway because they have blonde hair. But I still remember how many upvotes that got on YouTube when people were like making theories up about Valhalla. And I was like, yeah, that's a very likely theory to be true, you know. I mean, they both have blonde hair, they've both been in England, you know, I mean, surely they must be related. Hear me out, we have no information about Randvi's background in the game. Yeah, it must be Cassandra, for sure. That would be awesome. You also wonder if there will be any present day bookends for the game. Yeah.
My son, welcome home.
Father.
Tonight we feast and celebrate your return, Sigurd. The tables are laid with barley and lamb, bread and mead.
And no more, I beg you. I want nothing you would not serve a thrall. Let me be the one to honor you. I bring gifts and tales from faraway lands. After 2 winters away, I am full up with both.
Very well, very well. Come inside.
And when we are fat and satisfied, Father, we will talk of Kjotve and his clan, and how we may end their terror, once and for all. He has dogged us too long, shamed us for too many seasons. I know this. Eivor knows this. It ends now.
Yes, of course, when the time is right.
Pick of lamp. Do we also have lamb sauce for?
Through Rusland we barreled down the Volga River, raiding as we went. Shadowy tribes hurling spears at our ship. At Miklagard, we saw men bedecked in riches as vibrant as the Bifrost itself. And these we took for our troubles, of course. We sailed to Rome, then Africa, past oceans of sand, warriors of all colors, and beauty the eyes must weep to behold. And now I have returned, with riches and glory to share with my family, my friends, my ice-forged Strengir. So take what you desire from my hoard. For this is only a taste of things to come. Tomorrow, the Raven clan starts anew.
Skål, Sigurd!
Skål! And you, Eivor, come! I have something special for you.
Give me some of that food. Yeah, I mean, that sounds nice. Getting hungry, actually. But we're also gonna have some delicious food today. We're gonna make some chicken tikka masala. Yeah, we really do, Stanley. I mean, that's what they excel at. Feasting. Even more than combat or anything else.
Randvi! Eivor! Have you paid a visit to Valka? I did. And? It is not something I can speak on. Or wish to. I understand. Your bed will be warm tonight with your husband returned. That must be a good feeling. It is a different feeling. Warmer, but with less space to stretch my arms and legs. Are you not happy to see your husband return? Of course. But it has been so long he seems a stranger to me. 3 winters we are married and he has been away for 2. Can you not rekindle the flame that once burned hot? When he crawls into bed to warm me, as you say, it will be with farts and honeyed breath. Ah, we should all be so lucky.
Yeah, Randy really ain't happy. And I can't blame her.
Hytham, is it?
Yes? And you are Eivor?
I am. I hope this ruckus does not overwhelm you. We tend to drink and talk at equal speed.
Not at all. The wood smoke from your fire pit does sting the eyes. But the warmth is welcome.
Of course. It must be rather warm where you live.
Where I live changes from week to week. But always I am with my mentor, Basim.
Your mentor? For what cause?
A noble one. A cause as true as the world is old. But let us leave it at that for now.
I understand. But if you hope to stay tight-lipped for the rest of the night, keep clear of Tekla's meat.
Ah, thank you for the warning. It will not be a problem.
Hyphen can handle his liquor, apparently. And you also have Azam, legend. Wish we could kind of like talk from him from here, to him from here, but can't.
You're Basim.
You have a good memory.
And you have no mead. Can I fix that?
Sigurd spoke often of you on our journey. Called you his right arm, a celebrated warrior. I am honored to meet you.
Likewise, Basim. And how did you come to meet my brother?
He sat down in Constantinople some months ago to rest and resupply, he told me. But I knew otherwise. Men with eyes that gleam like his are always up to something more. I think he wished to raid the Hagia Sophia.
That sounds right.
I will not bore you with the details of our meeting. But I liked your brother from the first. I saw something in him that captivated me. As if a forgotten memory of an old friendship had suddenly resurfaced.
He has that effect on people. Enjoy your evening, Basim.
Yeah, you could say there's a bit of a symbolism going on there.
I thought long and hard on a gift worthy of you.
You have snared my curiosity, brother. What is it?
Not yet. Drinks first. To my first night in Fornburg in over 2 winters. It must end with me soaked and wall-eyed, shouting at the shadows of trolls.
And you want me to sail with you on these honey waves?
Yes. You are stuck with me, Dringur. Now drink. Ah, you would put Thor to shame.
Forgive me. On your first day back, I should have let you win.
Gods, you should have let me start.
It is good to have you back, Sigurd.
Yes. I've missed this terribly. When I first met Basim, I regaled him with tales of our homeland. And it was then I felt a heart longing to return at once. Come. This brings us to your gift. These excellent men were my shepherds through much of their homeland, the Abbasid Caliphate. They are a clan not joined by blood, but by a common idea. A brotherhood of shadows executing their own form of justice. In my time with them, they shared many of their most hidden secrets, for which I am grateful. And now, I gift one of these secrets to you. A weapon for the finest warrior I know.
Beautiful craftsmanship. What kind of smith makes a weapon like this?
It is less a weapon than a tool. One we have used for centuries to fight injustice and evil.
Mentor, I must protest. This is deeply unorthodox. Our wrist blade is a sacred tool.
Do not make a fetish out of cold metal, Haitham. What matters is the mind of the one who wields it. Please, try it on. The blade should ride on the underside of your arm, to conceal it from your target.
I have no wish to hide this, and I would rather not make the same mistake you two have. I like it.
This is no mistake. This is a voluntary sacrifice to prove our devotion to...
A good start, Eivor. But you must learn how to use it effectively.
Outside. This is not something for all eyes.
Lead on.
I love Eivor's reasoning there. Quiet the hidden blade. You know, not realizing that there's like a certain ritual behind getting the hidden blade.
It has a name.
Indeed. But among the tenets of our creed is a vow to never reveal too much to outsiders. In time, you may learn more, but not here, where the walls and trees may have ears.
I look forward to it.
Like how Hytham is also super upset about everything.
Here, let me lead you through our most basic techniques. Wielded with skill and care, our blade delivers a singular killing blow. As you near your target, find your window to strike. Timing is essential.
There he's kind of like the voice of the Assassin's Creed fan community, I guess. The gatekeepers. And it's like, you can't have a hidden blade. Not a real assassino. Then it turns out you can't use it in combat unless your left arm is unarmed or something. But then you have to charge the attack for 3 hours to even use it. Yeah. I mean, it's nice you can use it in combat, but the way you can use it isn't the best, I guess. Nice, we can now get Stealth Reckon, which automatically highlights enemies when crouched and undetected. And I guess next we go for this path here. This also is quite important actually. Maybe even more important than the advanced assassination for now, because it gives us kind of like a time to react. Yeah, that's quite useful. Quite a few new characters. Gonna read that later or next time.
Nicely done.
I have not seen a blade so sharp.
Some targets are trickier than others. Keep that in mind before you strike.
A decent attempt.
Take that one down from the ledge. That's it.
How about a challenge? Leap down upon that target from above.
Exactly, just like that. Use your surroundings when possible. Strike from that haystack, for instance. A perfect strike.
Mentor, does Eivor intend to join us?
Not that I am aware.
Then why offer her the blade? Surely we have more.
Hythen. Hush. That's it. You wield the blade well. Let us leave Eivor to enjoy her gift in peace. Come.
Eivor, let us walk to the docks and take in the night air. What do you make of my new friends?
They seem generous and menacing in equal measure.
I know what you mean. They have learning, too. They wield numbers and writing as if it were magic. Basim has shown me so much about the world, all of which I will share with you when the time is right. Oh, I miss the smell of this land.
Have you returned for good? Or do you mean to join this Shadow Brotherhood?
Leave all that aside, Eivor. Tonight we are family again. The here and now is what matters. Our kinship, our clan, our glory.
I've missed you, brother. Your clear head and your courage. We have not had enough of both in recent months.
You flatter me, Wolf-Kissed. Keep it up.
From here to Valhalla, I will always be at your side, Sigurd. Always.
This fjord has grown too small to contain me, or I too large. There is so much more beyond these stony fangs that rise around us. England, Ireland, Francia, all greener pastures, ripe for the plucking. Tomorrow, we make new war on Kjotve, and reclaim the lands he took from us. And from there, we build a kingdom for us.
I'm with you. Only say the word.
Good. Get some rest, and return here at first light.
The Northnir have spoken. You will betray Sigurd.
No, this is wrong. That cannot be right. Odin fought against his fate. It can be done.
You will betray Sigurd.
Shit. Kjotve's warriors.
Why can't I? Why couldn't I assassinate?
This one would not have come alone. I should find the others.
That's kind of weird. It's like you heard about the Black Flag remake and you think NDA applies, but you can't think of any part of Skull and Bones water that will feel better than old Black Flag. Yeah, I'm really not sure what the idea is there, to be honest. It just seems like a total train wreck for whole Skull and Bones development. I'm not sure how I feel about like a Black Flag remake. It seems more like we want to salvage Skull and Bones development or something. Yes, then you have to think about it every time I play this part, you know, like in retrospect.
Go, Sunan.
Hearing that and given we actually get to visit all of these areas as part of the DLC.
Bad feeling. Just the three of us. We should return to Notfall with our report while we can.
We can bring Kjotve news of the longships. Or we can wake him with Sigurd Styrbjörnsson's head. Which is better?
All right. When Jot returns, we weigh our next move. But I am not one for sticking around, hear me?
Quit bawling, you babe. They may be drunk, but they're not dead.
Sigurd must know about this.
Speaking of Savage, Pioneers of Pagonia teaser has been up for a few days now. We couldn't get a Settlers remake like the original producer and designer envisioned, so we're getting an indie game instead. Yeah. Like how to drop the ball right. Ubisoft style. Exactly right, you know, like we had so much time as well and already so many assets we could have reused, you know. Truly an example for development hell.
With each day we wait, Kjotve grows stronger.
I speak as your king, Sigurd, not your father. Heed my warnings or be off.
You will be king of nothing if you do not act soon.
We do not have the men to storm Kjotve's fortress. The losses would ruin us.
The losses have ruined us, father. Until we cut off this serpent's head, it will poison us day by day, drop by drop.
The poison has already polluted our waters.
God save her. What happened?
Spies in our camp. 3 men sent by Kjotve to kill us as we slept. I returned the favor.
There, you see? This is what waiting brings. We must answer this insult.
They came from Notfall, that whaling village under Kjotve's control.
We hid him there. Burn it down before Kjotve learns his spies are dead.
He may have sent more. I can search the village while you round up the crew.
No need. I will send Hytham to search the area. You can rely on him while we are away.
We? Do you mean to join us?
I have not been bred for Valhalla like you, but this will be far from my first battle.
I do not like this, but I will not stop you. Do not lead my son into the same storm that follows you.
But as for any remakes of Assassin's Creed titles, they have spent so many years already on the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, even before it was taken over by Ubisoft Montreal. And now that they have gone back to the concept phase for it, that means more time until its release. They haven't proven yet they can remake any of their games. Yeah. I feel like there's only very few studios that are like really good at bringing out consistent releases, and so far that's been mostly Ubisoft Montreal, Quebec and Toronto, I guess. At least when it comes to like the bigger franchises. Let's hope the studio for Mirage can actually deliver. Because that's Ubisoft Bordeaux and they also haven't worked on any major game before. You'll be king of nothing if you do not act soon. Reminds you of a song by Metallica called King Nothing. Is the crown King Nothing? Oh, very nice. I actually love Metallica. Also love playing the songs on Guitar Hero. In a sense, it's like you cannot sleep. It's midnight, still up. 2 AM, still nothing. 4 AM, it might as well wait until the sun goes up and you have breakfast. That's true, and speaking of Ubisoft Toronto, they did the last Splinter Cell game Blacklist and are working on the remake of the first game. Oh, really? That's cool. Didn't know it was actually that studio. Basically AC Valhalla with sped up animation and mark and execute. You'll be shocked if they goofed it up. Yeah, that's what I thought as well, looking at the parkour, you know. It looks a bit smoother, yes. But it looks more like they sped it up. And changed a few of like the jumping animations and stuff, but it's still the same core system, you know.
Man your oars. Can't raise the sail yet.
We can use the sail here, Eivor. Warriors!
Let the sail out!
When I was away, far from these frozen shores, wondering if I should ever see home again, I grew afraid. Afraid I would not return in time to see Kjotve's end. Afraid I would not see him bleed out like a stuck pig in a drift of snow. But here I am, home in time to join those I have missed. Those I love, in this glorious fight. Today we seize Noctval from Kjotve. Tonight his heart will pulse with worry. Tomorrow it will burst from fear. He will beseech the gods for aid. But they will be deaf to his cries. And soon the Raven clan will feast on his dead. You know these isles best, Wolfkist. Lead us to victory.
I will show the way, but you must lead us there.
Oh, Eivor. I missed having you at my side. How I wished I could have taken you along on my travels.
Styrbjörn did not trust fate with both our lives.
He had no reason to fear. Together, we are unstoppable.
Rod is gonna be quiet on the Splinter Cell remake front actually. Last year, as part of celebrating the franchise's 20th anniversary, they released a video talking about the remake, but nothing since. I mean, they had to put out something for the 20th, right? Users like, please whip up a trailer real quick, so we can showcase at least something. It died on the inside when you watch Basim flee across a single rooftop. Assassino style. So I think they are probably using the engine used for Skull and Bones to remake Black Flag, at least that's what I assume. And that isn't the same engine that this game runs on, as far as I know. But definitely correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I was also wondering, like, what is Stack thinking about all of this?
Get ready!
Okay, I'm not sure. I mean, this is pretty much meant to be like a combat scenario here, right? Like, I'm supposed to raid with all of these guys. But I mean, can I do this one stealthily?
Hold on, good skeleton.
What if the next Ember engine is the Skull and Bones engine? I mean, what if? Why do we need to remake? What is wrong with the original? I couldn't tell you. I haven't actually played the Splinter Cell games. Oh, hey there. Follow me. They apparently go inside to take enemies. Are they? What are they doing?
Be seen in this area.
Supply wagons! We should destroy them!
Basim is rocking to his music. Amazing. So I gotta hit the supply wagons here. It's kind of funny that Sigurd is like standing in the middle of and they don't know it. It'd be nice if I could actually aim out of this window, but can't really aim it far. Probably aim over there though. I mean, I destroyed one of them. What the fuck are you doing? Oh.
Time has come for you.
Of course it had to happen. So this is, let's see, pretty much right now. I don't even know why this guy came up here. That Mario desynchronized sound for. Amazing that finally got triggered. I think that's actually the first time it did. What if the next Ember engine is the friends he made along the way? What if our feedback for the Ghost Recon game spawned the Splinter Cell remake? The detection does work with him. Yeah, definitely didn't. What? I haven't heard that sound effect for years. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about what other famous desync sounds do I know about. Of course, Mario. they actually fighting now? Yeah, this isn't really optimal for stealth here. They're just like starting a conflict left and right.
I need your eyes, my friend.
Yeah, the difficulty here is that we're like all in an active search state now, which means it's kind of tricky getting anywhere near them without being detected. Okay, apparently we are back again, maybe? I don't know what's happening anymore. Kind of unfortunate timing with this happening here, because I literally want to call it at any point the mission allows me to. But yeah, hopefully I don't get a disconnect again. But yeah, it's been really wild today with Twitch. It's like my 6th or 7th disconnect of like half a minute or something today. Yeah, no, today it's totally me or Twitch, one of the two, I guess. Thanks, Rod. Welcome back as well. I have no idea what's happening today, but it's kind of annoying.
Sunan, guide me.
But there we have one more card over here. Is there another one? Was for all of them? I think that's the only one. I mean, I guess if we can find like a high ground, then use like a flaming arrow, we might be able to do it. Okay, apparently I missed one.
What see you, old friend?
And this one is burnt. Man, Jesus Christ, what's happening today? I think honestly I might just call it if it's happening again. I mean, what I can do is I can actually go out of this area, and if I am, I can have a menu save here, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm currently only missing one more supply thing, so I might just try to get the one still.
Cast about this land, my friend.
But yeah, if I get never disconnect, then I'd probably call it. Be back.
Stretch your wings, Sunan.
Please tell me that's all of them. Did I miss one, did I? Catch up. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid, dude, and welcome in, raiders. How was your stream today? Ava Kylas, welcome in. What a passing development. How was the stream today? I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you so much for joining for the last couple of minutes of my stream. Yeah, we're actually about to call it here as well. I've been dealing with like massive disconnects today, so if I'm away for like a couple of seconds, then there's one. Okay. Then that's why. But yeah, welcome in. We just started our Valhalla Stealth Challenge.
Tight, tight, tight.
But the Twitch gods be like, oh, you want to stream? Yeah, you don't. So you've been having trouble with disconnects the past 1 to 2 weeks, like once a day it seems. Yeah, it's also been happening more frequently for me recently as well. But yeah, maybe it's not just us then. Catch up was good, thanks. A very frustrating session, but we got there eventually. Sorry for bad timing, let me get this in before you go. Cheers, catch up. Thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So, which game did you play today again, catch up? And what was frustrating about it? Tell me everything. There's the other supply wagon. Hopefully that did it.
Show me.
That hit? Don't think it did.
My eyes, Sunan.
Okay, cool. We did it. Shoot it from a safe distance. That always works. Ketchup was a racing minigame in Final Fantasy X where you have to collect balloons while avoiding birds, and it is notoriously difficult to get the top prize. Oh damn. That does sound difficult. It's like one of the worst things, you know, when you have like a racing minigame in a game that doesn't really focus on racing, because it usually tends to be really bad with mechanics and everything. I wonder if all of the enemies are away now, actually. Just to be safe, I might just run around either way. When I was trying to get it, finally hit 0 clean and did not get the prize. So I had to do all over again. It got less than 0. Didn't realize that was a thing. Jesus. That sounds so frustrating, especially if you thought that you got it. So thank you very much, game, for nothing. But you're glad it does this once you've destroyed the stuff of the main objective. You had about 2 more enemies left in your stealth run for this part. I didn't know you could have made the section shorter by focusing on the main objective. I gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely fair too. Yeah, imagine like trying to take down all of the guards stealthily too in addition would have been super frustrating. I figured just shooting from a safe distance might also do this. But unfortunate with the first detection there. But I guess I shouldn't have just run inside the area in the first place.
Hail Ravenclan! You reap a bloody harvest.
Who are you, Gester? Name yourself.
I know his face. He met with your father not long ago.
I did, indeed. I am Guthorm, uncle to King Harold of the North. I speak for my nephew when there is need.
This is not King Harold's land. Why does he send warriors so far south?
You may ask him yourself, my lord.
Thank you, uncle. And you are Sigurd of the Raven clan, is that right? Son of the wise King Styrbjörn.
I am. And you are standing on his land, King Harold. Land we have reclaimed with blood and steel.
That I see, and I honor it, for I have not come to war against you, but for you, at the request of your father.
The canny wolf. Was this the plan he spoke of?
I offer my support. With my warriors, your Raven clan can take Kjotve's fortress and settle this rivalry for good.
This is good news, Eivor. The Wandering King will tip our fortunes.
The same voice actor for Harold is also Erki. That's right, yeah. Yeah, this game doesn't bother me too much when some of the voice actors are kind of like revising the roads with different characters. But yeah, in case anybody actually missed the shout out earlier to catch up. Okay, for some reason my stream deck isn't displaying you there. Let me just do it on my phone then. I highly recommend checking out his channel if you haven't before. He's currently doing a challenge where he's trying to play through about 50 games or so until the end of the year that are all picked by the viewers. And if he succeeds, then he can choose a cause to donate for. However, if he fails, then he has to donate himself. So it's kind of like a challenge for a good cause. And yeah, he's playing like all of the games that have been picked this year so far. So if you want to have a look at that and the variety of games that he's going to end up playing, of course, with about 50 total, then definitely go and check it out.
Why risk your men to help us, King? Have you a stake in this fight?
This war between Kjotve's clan and your own has long simmered on my southern border. I wish to see it put to rest. There will be no peace while Kjotve lives. But there's much agreement between your father and me.
This blood feud runs deep, King Harold. We welcome your help, but I must lead the charge.
I see. Is this a question of honor?
It is. Many winters ago, Kjotve broke an oath to our fathers. He betrayed a friendly peace and slaughtered many.
I understand. Sigurd Jarl will lead the assault against Kjotve and his clan. Give him full command of my ships and my warriors. When your victory is in hand, Sigurd, find me at Alrekstadir, and we will celebrate together.
Our men will gather at Florley, near the mouth of the fjord northeast of here. Will you join us?
Hold a moment. You captain our longship, Eivor. Meet us there, and we will claim Kjotve's head for the gods.
Brother, I have waited too many years for this day. When Kjotve stands before us, give me the final blow.
You will have it, Eivor. You deserve it.
Eivor, give us a hand. Harald is generous with his troops.
More than I would be.
I cannot fathom his game. He's either a young fool or deceptively wise.
Whatever his reason, I have a good feeling this war is near its end.
Ah, Dick. So naive. So young. No worries, catch up whatsoever. More than happy to give you a shout out. Right, but yeah, that finally finishes this quest. But yeah, that quest also officially gave us our first detection in the game so far. But yeah, that's also a good spot to actually call it for today, because yeah, it's about dinner time over here, so we'll take care of that. But we've done some really decent progress actually. We are quite close to finishing the whole Norway introduction. So I reckon in the next stream of this, we will get to leave Norway for England quite soon actually. And of course the good thing is I'm really focusing only on the main story, so we can safely ignore the other world events. And I mean, I might actually go for some abilities and gear pieces, but I will probably do that on my own time. So we can focus the streams more on actually getting the stories and all of it done. But I'll probably do some research to see what's actually missable in Norway and only collect the stuff that's like useful to ask for the stealth challenge, right? Because all the other stuff I'm not really too interested in. So for example, if it's like a good gear set or like a good bow or something, then I'll probably go after it. Or like any type of ability that might aid us for the stealth. But yeah, for today, this is gonna be where we call it. So let's go ahead and have a save here. And yeah, then I want to thank you all so much for coming by and for joining me for the second stream for today, with the start of our Valhalla stealth challenge. So yeah, so far we've been detected one time, but I reckon the further we go, the more they're gonna stack up, and I definitely anticipate this game to get us the most detections total. But I guess we have to find out. I thought the same thing about Origins, and then Origins we only got detected 11 times total. So yeah, I mean, I know for a fact that this game is quite more unforgiving in comparison, so definitely assume it's gonna overtake Origins at least, but we'll see next time. Thank you so much, Rod, and thank you also for contributing points to the community challenge as well, and everyone else who did. It was definitely good timing that it got done during the credits of Ghost of Tsushima actually, because I wasn't quite sure yet what I want to be playing for my second stream. You know, it would have been either this or a new game. But I was really in the mood to start this one, so I'm glad it got done in time. Catch you next time, Harbinger. No worries, Catcher. Thanks again for being here, and also for the raid earlier. I hope you have a good evening too. Oh yeah, really did, Rod. Was kind of hoping for that timing. But yeah guys, this is gonna be where we call it for today. Also, hey there, Hipsu, welcome in. Thank you for joining. How's it going? How was the rest of your Stream Raider stream? But yeah, let's have a look to see who's online and who we can raid today. Thanks, Carbon. You have a good evening too. Hope you enjoy. Okay, let me have a quick look here at the Twitch categories. No worries, Susanna. Thank you also for being here. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday and a good time tomorrow. I kind of forgot again what you were streaming tomorrow, actually. Was it The Last of Us? I think that's what it was. Okay, I think I found a raiding target here. She's called Rehart and is currently playing through AC Origins. Apparently she's also an archaeologist and ancient historian. Or maybe it's just a hobby, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go and join over there and figure it out for ourselves, I guess. Let's set up a raid here. However, before I go and raid, I want to give a few more shoutouts actually. And I recommend checking out Rod if you haven't before. He's also a massive fan of Assassin's Creed and also has done a stealth challenge quite recently with Valhalla. Every weekend you can catch him play the AC games in general. Under the wiki he's kind of like varying it between games like Prince of Persia, Tomb Raider, also games like Red Dead Redemption and GTA and many, many more. Also, I highly recommend checking out Lucinda. Lucinda is starting The Last of Us on PC tomorrow. She's also currently playing for AC Revelations and is getting ever closer to the end of the main story, I would say. So yeah, who knows where she's getting it next week actually with Revelations. So definitely check out that too. And also want to recommend checking out Carbon. Carbon is currently doing a playthrough of Assassin's Creed 3 and is also playing his way through the series currently. So definitely check out that and also check out his Pokemon playthroughs too, because he's also playing that as well. So now hopefully if your PC can handle it, it might not be able to and you might have to switch to something else. It would be a shame if you had to, Lucinda. I hope it works out well. I heard about some of the issues the version is having, but hopefully it all works out. And yeah, no worries whatsoever for the shoutouts. More than happy to give you guys one. But yeah, for now let's set up a raid here. Hopefully I spelled that right there. I think I did. So you know the drill, there's some raid emotes you can copy and paste if you like. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for being here. Oh. Never mind, she's like literally calling the stream. Well, I'm gonna leave a follow because I'm interested in checking out her streams, but I'm not gonna rate somebody who's like calling it themselves, I guess. I saw another channel earlier. It looked interesting. Oh yeah, me too, listener. It's like, god damn it. Give me a break, please. Okay, I think I found another streamer. Currently playing through Valhalla. First playthrough, and I think they're currently doing the Shire story arc actually. So not too far ahead of me. So let's go ahead and check out that actually. Okay, I think that's the right one. So yeah, if you want to come along with a raid, feel free to use the raid emotes there. And yeah, I will catch you all next time. Thanks again for being here, and have a great rest of the day.